Emergency which service? Do you need fire, police or ambulance?
It's very disturbing, it's very troubling. My hat's off to the investigators that worked full-time on this for months and months and months to sift through this information.
And there was a lot of information to sift through. Williams kept meticulous logs of every single crime he committed and buried those logs and photographs deep into his home computer's hard drive.
If you're one of our new subscribers, episode 4 will cover the finer parts of the interrogation. Investigators Al Williams telling crucial details that only the killer would know. Let's take one final look at how we got to this point. Episode 1 featured the collection of evidence, officers reaching out, contacting neighbors, surveillance footage. Episode 2 covered the breakdown of the interrogation. Key details are now being released after hours of questioning. Forensic data places the suspect on the scene. There's nothing he can do. The walls are closing in. Second by second, they're finding new key evidence with hard drives, computer search history, footprints, tire marks. It was no way he could argue. It was no way he could hide. It was no way he could run. Search warrants at several of his residences reveal unbelievable discoveries. In our final part 4, we will look at the remainder of the interrogation video. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Again, I am your host, Lynn Green, and this has been another episode of Question.
To be clear, there will not be a separate military court-martial. Canadian law clearly states there cannot be 2 trials for the same crime. I also wish to point out that under the Superannuation Act, there are no grounds to revoke his pension, and that a court-martial will not have any impact on these accrued benefits.
And 5 years ago, at age 42, he began acting on his fetish for women's underclothes by breaking into homes of strangers and acquaintances alike to dress up, masturbate, and steal samples for his personal collection.
2 women, including a young mother who he struck and then photographed partially naked, while her 8-week-old daughter was in the next room. And the Crown argued his obsession with photographs and videos continued when he took photos of the sexual assaults of Marie-France Como and Jessica Lloyd.
He secretly entered twice, unbeknownst to the owner, then returned 4 days later and sexually assaulted her. We can't identify the woman.
They kept telling me this was a one-time occurrence. This was just a sex pervert that wanted pictures, and it's their experience that this person would never return.
Okay, making up. Somebody running around looking for an actual map, but I did the same thing with the Google Maps. Just have to load them up a little bit more. This is the biggest of the area. Well, this might have better parameters for you. Here's Tweed. And what road is that? Kerry? No. South of, can't read that word. East Hungerford? Does that make sense? Oh, there it is there. Okay. How far off the road is she?
40 feet.
Is she covered with anything?
She's wrapped up.
In
She's
what?
on the surface. Just a gray something or other. Cover.
Okay. Barry, the obvious question I'm gonna have for you is, when they go there, and they'll be there shortly, they're gonna find her?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'll be right back. You look like you want to say something.
Just that this place, my wife, it's been a dream for the better part of the year, so I'm keen to get them what they need and so they can leave right on.
Okay. Well, we're going to do our best to keep it as low key as possible, okay? What do you want to talk about?
Because it's pretty wide open now, eh?
Yeah.
What do you want to know?
Well, do you want to work forwards or backwards?
Doesn't matter.
Why don't we start with Jessica?
Okay.
How does that start for you?
I saw her in her house on her treadmill. Wednesday night, I guess. Then I noticed she wasn't there Thursday. So I got into the house to look around. Then left. Noticed she'd come home. So I went back in. Through the back patio door while she was sleeping. So I woke her up. Didn't hit her. She only hit her once. Friday night. Well, so I raped her in her house, and then I took her to the car and took her spent the day in Tweed. And then I hit her as we were walking. She thought we were leaving. Hit her on the back of the head. Okay. Anything in particular?
Well, what did the hit on the back of the head do?
Well, I was surprised her skull gave way. She was there and immediately unconscious. And I strangled her.
Okay. What did you hit her with?
Flashlight.
Okay. In the house or outside the house?
In the house. Yeah, they'll find sign of it.
Where in the house did this happen?
In the main portion, just in front of the fireplace.
What do you mean they'll find signs of it?
Oh, there's quite a bit of blood. I hadn't expected. I'd expected to knock her out. But obviously generated a lot of blood.
What did she bleed onto?
The floor. It's just tile floor.
Okay. Did you clean it up or did you?
I wiped it up. I know what you mean. It needs to be spotted.
What makes you think that? Like, if I walked in that house right now, would I see it?
You wouldn't see it, not at all, but yeah. All right, seconds will show it, I'm sure.
Okay. So when that happened, did she have clothes on or was she naked? Or?
She was dressed.
Okay. So when we find her, is she gonna have those clothes on too?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Marie France Como.
There was an open window in the basement of her house when she was away. I went in there a couple of nights before she came home. Looked around. I went back in there late at night when she was at home. She was on the phone in her bedroom. She actually discovered me in the basement. She was trying to get her cat to come upstairs, and the cat was in the basement, had seen me and was fixated on me in the corner. She couldn't get the cat up, so she came downstairs to try and get the cat, and I'm not sure why she came over to me. I guess the cat was staring at me, and she was wondering what the cat was staring at. The lights were on. So when she spotted me, I had the same flashlight. I subdued her. Tied her up, brought her upstairs. Strangled her later in the morning. Well, more suffocated her. Some tape. Left her there.
How did you subdue her? When you say subdued her in the basement, what did you do?
Well, I had the same flashlight, and she she saw me right away, so I was just hit her a couple of times and around her head, try and knock her out. Didn't, but she was bleeding a little bit. Eventually, after a struggle, subdued her.
Okay. Any blood from that struggle?
Oh yeah. No, not a whole bunch, but a flashlight did break her skin a couple of times.
Okay. What area of the basement did that take place in?
I was hiding behind the furnace, so she spotted me right there.
Okay. Did she recognize you?
No, I had stuff on my face.
Okay. So you go upstairs, and you said she suffocated?
Well, I suffocated her. I put tape on her. I put tape on her mouth, and then I put tape on her nose and held it there so she couldn't breathe.
What kind of tape was it?
Duct tape.
What happened to it?
Well, I took it with me and can't remember what actually I did with that tape, but probably threw it in the garbage.
Did you use tape for any other purposes?
No.
Okay. Did she ever recognize you through this whole episode?
No.
What did you say you had on your face?
I had just a cover for my head, just a, a sports, pullover type, like just a little cap kind of thing.
Okay.
Just a, lycra or something. And just a headband over my nose and mouth, so it covered most everything but my eyes.
Okay. Now this flashlight, where is that now?
In Tweed.
In the house?
Yeah.
What kind of flashlight is it?
It's a red 3 double D. I'm not sure what brand it is, but it's a metal, one of these aluminum. It's like a big, I can't remember what brand that is. Aircraft aluminum flashlights already still around. Anyway, it's a big one of those.
Did you take anything out of Marie France's house or Jessica Lloyd's house?
Yeah, some of their underwear.
Okay.
That's all.
And where is that?
It's in some boxes in the basement here in Ottawa, in that rec room. So we just moved in, so there are boxes everywhere. So on the same side as the furnace room, sort of in the back against the wall.
Okay. What do the other boxes look like?
I think one's a scanner, the box for my scanner.
Mm-hmm.
They're all right next to each other, so a quick look through the boxes there will find it.
Okay. How much underwear is in those boxes?
Probably 60 pieces or so total.
All women's?
Yeah, 60 pieces of theirs.
Of whose?
Of Jessica's and Marie France.
So you took 60 pieces from between the two of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
All right. And they're in a, like when you talk about a scanner, is it a computer scanner box?
my computer scanner is up in the office, and its box is down in the basement, so
Okay.
it's inside that box.
Does any of the underwear in those boxes belong to anyone other than Marie-France or Jessica?
Yeah, there's some from each of the other two women.
Okay. Why don't we talk about those two women? So the first one happened on the 16th, and I don't know why I can't recall their names, but the lady that was lived closer to you.
No, Lori was closer to me.
Okay.
So the first one, I had just spotted her from our boat, actually. I got into the house while she was asleep. Noticed that she was alone. And just hit her with my hand while she was sleeping. Subdued her. Mostly just my weight on top of her. Had her take off her pajamas. Took some pictures. Took some of her underwear and left.
And the other woman?
Same kind of deal. Got in through the back of the house. She was sleeping in her, not in her bedroom, but in her, in front of the TV. Very much the same story.
Anything different about that story? I mean, yeah, pretty much the same story and exactly the same story are two different things, right?
Yeah, no, not much different at all. I did have the flashlight. That time I hit her with a flashlight. And thinking it would knock her out. Didn't. So, and I subdued her with my weight. Took off her clothes, took some pictures, and left.
Why do you think these things happen? Have you spent much time thinking about that?
About why?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know the answers. And I'm pretty sure the answers don't matter.
Well, let me ask you this: did you like or dislike these women?
I didn't know any of them.
Okay.
I had met Marie-France that one time in our airplane.
Okay. No, I guess when you're going through these things, are you? Well, I mean, let's talk about Jessica because she was there with you for the whole day, right?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of feelings were you experiencing while you were with her that day?
Oh, she was a very nice girl.
Can you tell me why you killed her? Right? Do you know why you killed her?
Well, I think I killed her because I knew that her story would be recognized.
Her story would be recognized? How do you mean?
Well, because she knew I was taking pictures.
Mm-hmm.
So because of the two stories in Tweed, that would have been a fairly, been quite obvious.
So if you didn't take pictures, what would you have done with her?
I don't know.
I mean, she's at your house, right? Well, let me ask you this. Is it 2 lived, right? And 2 died. What was the difference in your mind between?
Well, the attention the first 2 got was very much focused on, obviously, or for obvious reasons, pictures I took. So anybody else telling stories about pictures, right, would have been a fairly straight line.
Okay. But when this thing happened with Marie France, did you believe that you were already a suspect for what happened in Tweed?
No.
So what were you concerned about?
Well, because I was pretty sure that she was serving military, right?
Mm-hmm.
It would have been difficult for investigators to ignore that connection.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Let's go back to Jessica then, okay? You see her on the Wednesday night, okay? On her treadmill?
Mm-hmm.
How do you see her?
She was in the basement, window wide open, on a treadmill. So I drove by.
Okay. Did you stop to look at the house, or how does that catch your eye as you drive by?
Well, I was looking to see who was where. Don't know that area very well, so I was just keeping my eyes open.
Okay. So you spot her on the Wednesday.
Yeah.
Do you just keep on going, or did you stop and take a closer look that night or anything? No? Okay. And you went back on the Thursday night, right?
Yeah.
So you go back on the Thursday night, and you went into the house before she came home?
Yeah, she was out.
Okay.
Done with those. Yeah, she was out. Got in through the kitchen window. It's unlocked. Everything else was locked.
Okay. So you're in there doing what?
Looking around to see who lived in the house. It was just her.
Okay. And then what do you do?
Well, I left the house. And then she came home. I hadn't been out of the house very long. So I watched for a little bit to see if she was alone. She was. And I went in when she went back to sleep. Went to sleep.
Okay. So you go in, she's sleeping, and what do?
Well, I snuck up to the side of her bed, expecting to try to knock her out. She woke up, but she did as I said, so I didn't hit her.
What did you say?
Said, lie down on your tummy.
Okay.
She did. I tied her up.
What'd you tie her up with?
Some rope I brought.
So she's on her stomach. How are you tying her up?
Just tying her hands behind her back.
Okay. She got clothes on at that point?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of clothes?
Sweats.
All right. You tie her hands behind her back, and then what happens?
I took her clothes off.
Okay. And then what happened?
I raped her.
A rape could mean a lot of different things. What kind of sexual act took place?
Just, vaginal and oral.
Okay. Oral. Who was performing the oral sex?
No, me on her and her on me.
Okay. Any condoms used or anything like that?
No.
No. So and again, correct me if I'm wrong. Vaginal intercourse. Her performing oral sex on you, and you performing oral sex on her.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what order those things occurred in?
Yeah. I started with the oral sex. Then I raped her. And then later on I made her perform oral sex on me.
Okay. Any kind of conversation happening when this is going on?
Yeah, a little bit.
What was being said?
Well, I threatened her before she... before I had her perform oral sex.
What did you say?
Well, I put a zip tie around her neck. I said that I would pull it if I didn't like what she would do.
Okay. So she did what you told her to do?
Mm-hmm.
Any issues there? Any reason to pull it?
No.
So, do you remember if you ejaculated at that point? Or at any point?
Not at that point, but later on.
Okay. So, the oral sex finishes, and then what happens next?
Well, I continued to rape her, and I had her put on some of her underwear. Took some pictures, lots of pictures. And then got her dressed, walked back to the truck.
Okay. At what point did you decide that she was going to leave with you?
I'm not sure. That wasn't necessarily always the plan. But at some point, I was there for three hours, 3 and a bit.
Okay. Do you remember the conversation about leaving? Was there any... Did she say anything about that, or what was she saying to you?
She was certainly cooperative.
Okay. Cooperative can mean a number of different things. Was she excited about leaving with you? I mean, I don't want to be sarcastic, but...
No, she just didn't put up too much of a fuss.
Okay. Did she try and negotiate with you at all, or...
No.
What did she say?
Well, I told her that I would let her go later on.
Okay. So when you take her out of your house, is she still bound, or
Yep.
how is that done?
Just hands behind her back.
Okay. What about her feet? Anything there?
No, she was walking freely.
Okay. Barefoot, or...
No, she had those brown suede shoes on that had been reported.
Okay. So where does she sit in your truck when you get to the truck?
Front seat, passenger side.
Okay. And where do you go?
Straight to Tweed.
Straight to your house in Tweed, or straight
Yeah.
to just the town?
Straight to the house.
No stops anywhere?
No.
Okay. What time, do you remember what time you arrived there?
I don't exactly, but I'd say between 4:30 and 5:30.
Okay. All right. When you were first there before she came home, do you remember? Did anybody come to the door at all when you were in the house? Okay.
No, I think somebody had come home. Somebody had come to the house just before she did, because I thought it was her, but then they left. I was outside at the time.
Did you see who that person was, or what kind of vehicle they were in, or anything?
Saw the lights. I assumed it was her, and then all of a sudden they left. So I don't know what happened.
Okay. Where were you when that first vehicle pulled up?
In the back here.
Okay. So you didn't have a view of the vehicle, you could just tell that there was a vehicle there, is that fair? Okay. So you get home, what, 4:35 you say? Okay. And then what happens?
Well, she would go to the bathroom and get a quick shower, wash her. Then we went into my bedroom. And went to sleep a little bit. She was tied up.
How was she tied up at that point?
Hands behind her back. I put tape over her eyes from the beginning. So that's what she had.
Okay. When they find her, is that tape going to be there? Or was it ever removed?
No, I removed it.
Okay. What kind of tape?
Duct tape.
All right. The duct tape that you used, where's that roll?
It's all gone. I used the rest of it to bind her body.
So, by all gone, is it with the body now? Okay. So, you said, who went to sleep when you came home? You had a shower, or she had a shower?
Well, we both got in. I washed her off after she'd been to the bathroom. We both went to sleep. But she was tied up and I tied the rope. You know, so I could fall asleep a little bit and she could move without waking me up.
Okay, I'm trying to picture how that would be. So the rope's tied to what on her?
Just tied her hands behind her back.
Okay. And
then the rope just wrapped around me a couple of times, so there was no slack.
okay. Do you remember how long you slept for?
Not long, maybe a couple hours.
Do you know if she slept?
I don't know.
Okay. So you wake up and
And it wasn't, I mean, we were up and down. So it wasn't 2 hours straight. It was 2 hours in bed, but there wasn't much sleep. Just lying there probably.
so you get up from that, and what happens next?
She had a seizure, actually. She felt it coming on, and because she'd had some before. Lasted quite a while. Got her dressed, into the family room, and anyway, she recovered. She got obviously stress, but probably went on for about 15 minutes. Sort of it.
So,
Yeah.
how do you know she had them before?
She told me.
Did she tell you why she gets them?
Well, she suggested it was stress. Yeah, so she felt herself start to tense up and said she thought she was going to have a seizure. So it was convulsions is what she was having.
Okay. So she recovered from that?
Yep, I stayed with her and talked her through it and made sure she didn't bite her tongue.
Okay. And then what happened?
Well, then we had a little lie down right there because she was obviously exhausted. Put a cover over her and she went to sleep. Wait for an hour or so. And I had told her earlier that before I let her go, I wanted to take some pictures of her in her underwear. And have sex with her. So after she'd had a rest for an hour or so, I had her put on, a number of different outfits she had.
I'm sorry?
Put on a number of, pairs, panties, bra that she had. That I'd taken from the house. So she put those on and I took pictures.
Okay. Are you in any of these pictures?
Yep.
What kind of images are you in?
Well, I'm with her. There's on the hard drives. You'll see there's video as well. So there's video of the. Almost 4 hours, I guess.
Of what?
Well, of initially at her place of me raping her, and then so I was running the video and then taking still pictures. So the video pretty much covers everything.
Did you use video at other places?
At Manic Francis as well.
Okay. And is that video on the hard drives?
Yep.
Same type of activity?
Yep. Okay. Well, I didn't have her put on any stuff.
Okay. So Jessica poses for these pictures, and there's videos, and then what happens?
Then I got her dressed because she thought she was leaving. Got a bite to eat. Fruit. And then as we were walking out, I struck her on the back of the head.
Okay. When did you decide to do that?
Well, I was pretty sure that I wasn't going to let her leave, but the idea of striking her on the head was developed in the afternoon.
And what was that strike supposed to accomplish in your mind? What was the intent of doing that?
Well, I thought I would be able to knock her out, and then I was going to strangle her.
Okay. So when you actually do strike her, what's the result?
Her skull gave way a little bit. Felt like, and there was a lot of blood, so I think that's what happened. She was immediately unconscious. And then I strangled her.
How'd you strangle her?
The same rope. Just put her on her neck.
Okay.
While she was unconscious.
Now, what happened to the zip tie that was around her neck earlier?
I took it off. Around then, I guess.
Did you take it off before you put the rope around her neck, or after, or do you remember?
After she was dead.
Oh, okay. So the zip tie was around her neck while you used the rope?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you leave the rope around her neck?
No.
Okay. And how did you know she was dead?
She body stopped moving.
Okay. So what did you do after that?
I bound her up to a fetal position. And cleaned up the floor.
No, you say you bound her up. Are you referring to the duct tape that you talked about earlier?
Yeah.
Okay. So then what did you do?
I put her in the garage. It was very cold. And then I went into the base.
Okay. Why'd you go to the base?
Pardon me?
Why'd you go to the base?
Because I was flying early the next morning.
Okay. So what time did you leave to go to the base?
Well, I told you about between 9 and 10 or so.
On the Friday night?
Yep.
Okay. So you fly, and
Then I drove home to Ottawa.
so which night would you?
Saturday night.
So you land, and what time are you landing?
6:30.
Okay.
Saturday night.
Did you go by the house in Tweed on your way to Ottawa? Or?
No.
So you drove straight home to Ottawa? What time did you get there at? Do you remember?
Sometime before midnight. I can't quite remember, but I think I went into the office first, did some work. So I think I got home to Ottawa just before midnight, something like that. I think. Not sure. I slept for a little bit at the Tim Hortons in Brockville. So it might be later. I honestly can't remember when I got to Ottawa, but
Okay.
yeah, midnight-ish, Saturday.
Mm-hmm. So you get home, you're in Ottawa, what do? You go to bed or
Yeah.
stay up? Okay. So then what do you do the next day?
Well, my wife and I did some stuff. I can't remember what was going on that day. You know, putting together the new house. And I headed back to Tweed that night.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? Sorry. No, I did. I had Monday off. That's right. I had Monday off, and then I was visiting one of the units in Ottawa on Tuesday. So I didn't head back to Tweed till Tuesday night.
Okay. So you get back to Tweed, and what happens next?
I took Jessica's body to that spot.
Okay. That happened on Tuesday night? Just this past Tuesday, obviously. Okay. Do you remember what time that was?
It was pretty late. It was midnight-ish. I'd say between midnight and 1 on Wednesday morning.
Okay. What made you decide to measure that distance? That 0.7 kilometers?
That's just the way I am. Numbers. I have to know the numbers.
Okay. And how did you leave her?
I just left her tucked behind a a fairly large rock.
Is that duct tape still on her? And what else is on her?
A couple of towels wrapped around her head, and the top and pants, she was wearing jeans.
Okay. Did you ever go back there?
No.
Right. What other type of cleaning and things like that did you do? Anything else to kind of cover your tracks that you can think of?
I vacuumed the house and I wiped the floor, washed the floor.
Okay. What about your truck? Did you do anything with that?
Just washed today because it was a mess and vacuum.
Okay. So Marie France, when did it first occur to you to go to her house?
Well, probably in October, November, not quite sure, but somewhere in that time frame.
And do you remember why you thought to do that?
Well, she had said she lived alone the one time I met her.
Mm-hmm. Just trying to understand why her versus the dozens of other women you probably come across on a daily basis.
I don't know. I went out there when she wasn't home just to see where she lived. And
when did you do that?
A couple of nights before.
How did you know her address?
There's a nominal roll for the base.
Okay. So when you go out there a couple of nights before, do you remember what night that was? When you were there first time?
I don't, but it was within 2 or 3 nights, I think.
Okay.
Well, no more than 4 anyway, something like that.
And did you actually go into her house on that occasion, or did you? Okay. So what happened that night? How'd you get into her house?
This window on the side of the basement, side window.
Okay. And just to back step a bit, how did you get to her house that first night you went there?
I drove.
What did you drive?
I think I drove my truck.
Okay.
Finder.
Do you remember where you parked it?
Yep, I parked it. There's a bit of a division in the residential areas there. I parked it on another side, 600-700 meters away.
Okay. So not on her street, on a different street? Do you remember what street you parked on?
No, but it's actually might be the same street, but there's an interruption in the street where there's a construction zone, so there's a pathway in between. So I think it's probably the same street.
Okay. So you go to her house, and when you went there that night, did you know that she was away?
I'm not sure if I knew entirely, but I think I thought she was away.
Okay. Is that based on her schedule, or how How would you know that?
Well, because I fly with the squadron, I have access to the schedule, and
Okay.
it's a slightly different schedule she has, but that's probably how I know.
You don't know for sure?
I think that's probably how I know.
Okay. So you go to her house,
Mhm.
and what do you do that night? The first night?
I looked around and made sure that she was living there alone.
And I'm sorry, did you say, I can't remember if you said, how did you get in?
Same way. It's about side basement window.
Side basement window? Okay. Do you remember what kind of window it is? Like what made it,
Well, I just noticed it was, the flashlight, I could see that it was not locked. It had been opened slightly. So I removed the screen, slid it open, went in.
okay. So you go in and you're in her house, figuring out she lives alone, and do you do anything that night?
Yeah, I was playing with her underwear.
You mean playing with her underwear?
Wearing it.
Okay. Doing anything else?
No, I didn't touch her stuff.
What do you mean you didn't touch her stuff? I mean, you touched her underwear, but...
Yeah. But nothing else.
Okay. Did you take any of the underwear with you that night?
Yeah, a few pieces.
And where did you find the underwear when you went in?
In her drawer.
Was it clean? Was it used? Or,
Clean.
anything else you can remember doing that evening? That you...
No.
All right. So, after that first visit, did you return again before meeting up with her?
No.
Okay. So, which day did you go to her house when she was there?
Well, the night before I went to Ottawa, so I think that was Monday night.
All right. So let's walk through that. What time do you think you got there?
About 11 or so, probably. 10:30, 11.
Okay.
Yep, so she was on the phone in her room. I could hear that from the backyard. I got in through the side window.
The same basement window?
Mm-hmm.
How could you hear from the backyard? What was...
Just hear her on the phone. Front beside the house. Could hear her through the walls that she was on the phone.
Okay. Any idea who she was talking to or what she was talking about?
Couldn't hear that well.
Okay. So you go in through the basement window. And what are you wearing when this is happening?
Sweatshirt. Dockers, I guess. And the 2 pieces on my head.
Okay. And where are those 2 pieces now? Pieces that you wore on the head?
They're probably in my bag, in my luggage bag in Edison in the bedroom.
What's your luggage bag look like?
It's a blue duffel bag type thing. It's right beside the bed.
Okay. Is it the only blue duffel bag in your bedroom?
Mm-hmm.
And these pieces, what do they look like again?
It's a blue headband.
Okay.
Standard blue, winter headband. and black skull cap type thing.
Any insignias or anything on them?
Yeah, there are, but I don't know what they are. The blue headband has something stitched, a name of some sort stitched on it. And the skull cap has some sort of emblem, white emblem on the black. I don't know what it is.
Are they like sports emblems or company emblems or?
It's the manufacturer's.
Okay. Anything else in that blue duffel bag?
I don't think so.
Is it full of things other than?
Just my clothes.
Okay. So you go in. Do you remember what you had on your feet?
In the house there?
When you went to Marie France's house?
Probably running shoes. There wasn't snow on the ground.
So you go in and you're in the basement. And whereabouts in the basement are you?
By the furnace.
Okay. And what are you doing? What's your sort of plan at that point?
I was waiting for her to go to bed.
Okay. And how long did that take?
Well, she didn't. Because then she came down looking for the cat.
All right. And what happens next?
Well, as I described, I subdued her. Hit her with a flashlight. But essentially, wrestled her to the ground and tied her up.
Okay. And what did you use to tie her up?
Same rope, green rope. It's in tweed.
Is it just green or like how long is this piece of rope?
It's probably 20 feet. It's a boat rope. It's got some red specks in it, I think.
Okay. Is there lots of ropes in tweed, or is this probably the only rope?
No, this there are two lengths.
2 lengths of the same green rope? And were they both used?
Well, I only ever had one with me, so I don't know if I used the same piece both times or not, but only 2 lengths of rope.
Okay. So you tie her up. How did you tie her up after you subdued her? Okay. And what is she wearing at that point?
She wasn't wearing anything to start with.
So when she came down to the basement, she had no clothes on?
Mm-hmm. She had some sort of a shawl over her shoulder.
Okay.
And she immediately dropped when she saw me.
Did she say anything when she saw you?
She did. She called out, "You bastard."
Okay. And then what happened?
Then I subdued her as I described.
By hitting her with that red flashlight?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Although they were more glancing blows. Cut her skin, but weren't doing much else.
Okay.
She fell over and then I subdued her. She tripped.
How did you tie her at that point? Like, I know you used the rope, but what did you tie her up like?
Just pulled her hands behind her back and just tied her wrists together.
Okay. And then what happened after that?
Then I took her upstairs.
Did she go upstairs under her own power, or did you carry her?
No, she passed out on the stairs. And then I carried her up.
Why do you think she passed out?
I expect from the hits to her head.
So you carried her up to where?
To her bedroom, put her on the bed.
Okay. And then what happened?
Well, as I described, I think she's on the bed. I raped her over a period of time.
Okay. And again, just to be specific, what sex acts took place?
Just vaginal.
Your penis in her vagina?
Yeah.
Any condom used?
No.
Did you ejaculate?
No.
Did you ejaculate at any point with her?
No.
Okay. But just before I forget, I think I asked you, don't mean to bounce around on you here, Russ, but with Jessica, I asked you about ejaculation. You said you didn't at that point. When did you ejaculate with Jessica?
The second time or third time that I had her perform oral sex.
And was that at her residence or yours?
Hers.
Okay. Any other times that you ejaculated with her?
No.
Okay. When you ejaculated with Jessica, did you use anything to clean up, or?
No.
What happened to the ejaculate?
She swallowed it.
Okay. So getting back to Marie France, it's just straight vaginal sex, no condom, no ejaculation. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. How long does that go for? Like, how long were you engaged in that activity?
Well, hour and a half, 2 hours, I guess.
Okay. And then what happens next?
Well, as I described, I suffocated her using duct tape.
Okay. Why did you decide to do that?
Well, again, because of the pictures. As I described to you, it would have. It was going to be a pretty straight line back to Tweed.
Okay. But why did you decide to use that method versus something else?
I had thought about strangling her earlier. That's on the video.
What is?
My, well, it was a short-lived attempt because she struggled quite a bit. And then I decided that I needed to suffocate her.
So there was a short-lived attempt at strangling her? And what's on the video, the suffocation or the strangling?
Well, just me putting my hand on her throat. And then her responding, no surprise, very aggressively.
Okay. Any videos of the suffocation part or pictures of that? Now, you mentioned that you brought the rope with you. Where did the duct tape come from?
I brought it.
Okay. And what did you do with it afterwards?
I think it stayed in tweed.
What color of duct tape are we talking about? I know it comes in a variety of colors, but
Gray.
gray. So before the suffocation, obviously, how long do you think you were with her from the point, well, how long do you think you were in that house from the point you went in that window to the point you left?
Probably 4 hours.
Okay. So, correct me if I'm wrong, did you say you got there at 11? Or around 11?
I think that's right.
Okay. So, you left around 3 in the morning?
Well, I was in the basement for quite a while before she came down. She wasn't going to bed. So I was probably in the basement for 30, 40 minutes.
Okay.
So by the time she saw me, it was probably closer to midnight.
All right.
But I didn't have a watch on, so I'm not sure.
Any gloves?
I don't think so.
Did you wear gloves with Jessica?
Only to get in the house. It was a very cold night.
And what about the 2 women in tweed?
No gloves.
So while you're with Marie Franz, what kind of conversations are taking place? Anything she said to you stick out in your mind?
No, I taped her mouth. There's no conversation.
Okay. When did you tape her mouth?
As soon as I got her up to the bedroom.
And why did you decide to do that?
Because she was quite aggressive.
In what way?
I was confident she would have screamed given the chance.
What way
But
was
she did initially.
Did she?
In the basement.
So in what way was she aggressive?
Well, just in, when she discovered me, she was very vocal, screamed quite a bit, until I'd subdued her, so I expected she would scream again, given the chance.
Okay. Do you remember how you left her residence?
Back door. Patio door.
Okay. Did you take anything with you that night?
Some of her underwear.
Anything else?
No.
All right. Did you do anything else to try and cover your tracks with Marie Franz?
Well, I had turned off my BlackBerry before I left Trenton. Other than that, no.
Do you remember trying to destroy any kind of evidence there, or anything you thought may have produced evidence or anything?
Oh, I took her sheets off the bed and ran them through the laundry.
Okay. Like the laundry where?
In her house.
Okay. Did you run them completely through? Did you wait for it to finish, or?
No, I just put them in and put a whole bunch of bleach in and let it go.
Okay. So the night you went to her house and got there at 11, you came from where? Like you said, you left Trenton. You
Yeah.
turned off your BlackBerry. You talking about the base, or are you talking about where did you leave to go to her house?
Well, no, I just turned off my BlackBerry before I left the Trenton area. I would have left from the base after work.
All right. What time do you think you turned your BlackBerry off?
Well, it's only a half-hour drive to Brighton, so probably in the 9:30 range.
Do you remember what time you would have turned it back on?
And I was back on the 401 heading to Ottawa the next morning.
What time would that have been?
So 6 plus or minus 30 minutes.
Okay. So you leave her house 3-ish.
No, I think it was later than that. So the 4 hours obviously was. I think I went in about 11. Was in the basement for quite a while. Probably left her house closer to 4:30, somewhere there.
Okay. And where do you go?
I drove to Ottawa.
Straight to Ottawa?
Yeah.
Did you go by your house in Tweed or anything, or did you just go straight?
No.
Remember what route you took?
Yeah. 401. But from her place, I think I went straight north on whatever the road is that goes straight through Brighton up to the 401. Hit the 401 and headed east.
Okay. And so you're going to, what's the meeting you're having that day in Ottawa? Remind me.
Meeting on the C-17 acquisition project.
Okay. And who ran that meeting?
The project manager is Sue Hale.
Okay. Is that the only meeting around that time period you would have went to on that issue with Sue Hale?
Hmm?
There wasn't like a weekly meeting or anything like that? Okay.
No, this is sort of a quarterly.
All right. So the night this happened, where did you park that night?
As I said, across the gravel little roadway, it's probably the same road.
Okay. Similar location to the first night?
Yep.
All right. Same vehicle?
Yeah, truck.
Okay. All right. Okay, let's talk about seeing as we're going backwards in time here, why don't we talk about the second incident in Tweed? With Laurie Massacati. One that's at 76 Cozy Cove. How did you decide on her?
I knew she lived alone. That's it.
And how did you know that?
She lived 3 doors down and didn't know her, but I knew she was pretty lone. She had a boyfriend and hadn't been around. So. Looked in the window and she was alone.
So she had a boyfriend, but he wasn't too frequent? Okay.
Well, he was. She told me that they were fighting, so that's why he hadn't been there.
Okay. So, did you look in her house before the night that this incident happened, or when did you do that?
I had been in within the week. Probably a couple of nights earlier.
What did you do that night?
I looked around to see if there are any permanent signs of her boyfriend, I guess. Took 1 or 2 pieces of her underwear. That's all.
Okay. So the night you go there, when the incident happens, do you remember what time that was?
It was pretty late. I probably got into the house around midnight. She was asleep on the couch. Well, I didn't know that, but I knew she was in there.
And how'd you get in, sorry?
Window in the back of the house. There's a little sunroom.
Was it just something you had to slide, or how did you
I had
get
to
that?
remove the screen and slide it up.
Okay.
So I got into the house and she was asleep in front of the TV.
Wearing anything on your face that night?
Yeah, same things.
Okay. The headband and the cap? Okay. What kind of clothes did you have on?
Just dark sweatshirt or pants.
Right. So she's asleep on the couch, you're in there, and then what happens?
We have been through this, eh?
I know.
I struck her with the flashlight, thinking it would knock her out. It didn't. We struggled. I subdued her. Took some pictures. Left. It's probably in the house about 2.5 hours.
That's a pretty short description for 2.5 hours.
Well, yeah, we talked. I told her I wasn't going to hurt her. I told her that there were other guys in the house robbing her. My job was just to control her.
What did she say to that?
She was scared. Worried she was going to be seriously hurt.
Did she say that, or did you just assume that?
No, she said that. She was worried she was going to be killed. I said, I'm not going to kill him.
What did you do with, you said you took pictures of her. Clothed, unclothed?
Both. Clothed initially and then unclothed.
Are you in any of those pictures?
I don't think so.
You just took them of her? What kind of camera are you using, by the way? What,
It's a digital Sony.
you just have the one camera?
Yeah. And the video camera.
Also, they're two separate?
Yeah.
Well, some cameras take video, right? And where is the camera and the video camera?
In Tweed.
Is it the only camera and video camera in that house?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So you take pictures of her, and how do you end up leaving? Like you,
I just told her to, I don't know, count or wait for a number of minutes before she called the police.
okay. And did you leave immediately, or did you stay there for a while,
Oh, no, I left.
see what she was going to do, or?
I left.
And where do you go?
Home.
Straight home?
Mhm.
Did you wait to see if the police showed up or anything, or?
No. Well, I mean, it's,
So what did you do when you got
a
home?
couple hundred feet. I went to sleep.
Okay. And what did you do the next day?
Went to work. Normal time.
Okay.
A couple hours later.
All right. Do you remember how her clothing was removed?
Well, because her hands were tied behind her back, I think I cut off her top and then and pulled off her bottom.
What did you use to cut her top?
I can't remember if it was a knife or like a folding X-Acto knife or Leatherman or one of the two.
Are these items that are in your house in Tweed?
Yep.
Okay. Was there ever any other time you used a knife to cut off clothing or anything else? Do you remember?
I cut off Jessica's top with a knife, so her hands were tied behind her back. That's all.
Okay. And where's that knife? Which knife did you use that time?
That was the Leatherman.
That was leather?
Tweed.
Is it the only Leatherman in Tweed?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So on the 16th of September, when you went in that night, was that the first time you've been in her house?
Yep.
Okay. And why her?
Just because I'd seen her and she was cute. That's it.
Okay. So there was no... you didn't go into her house before that night?
No.
All right. So you go in, and how'd you get into her house?
Side window. The was not locked. Cut the screen, slid the window, crawled in.
Okay. And what you wearing?
Same. Sweatshirt, dark pants.
And the same hat and... Okay. And where do you find...
In bed, asleep.
Okay. And what do you do?
Stood over her for a while and I hit her on the left side of her head just with my hand. Just woke her up. We struggled. You know, just lay on her. And very much like I described a little bit ago, took off her, pulled her top down, and took off her pants, took some pictures, left.
Do you remember her saying anything to you?
Yes.
What did she say to you?
All kinds of things. You know, she had a young baby just next door, the other room, 8 months or so. She was obviously concerned about the baby, concerned for herself. I assured her I was not going to hurt her. Physically, anyway.
Okay. Any underwear taken from or Lori?
Yep, both.
And where would they be located?
In Tweed.
And why are they in Tweed as opposed to Marie Franz and Jessica's underwear?
I don't know.
Do you remember how much of their underwear you took?
Not very much from Lori.
Did they know that you took their underwear?
I don't know.
You didn't discuss it with them or anything? So where in Tweed would their underwear be?
In the there's a laundry room area
Okay.
just between the house and the garage.
right? So where in that laundry room area would they be kept?
There's a cupboard up top. They're in a duffel bag.
What's the duffel bag look like?
It's a green army duffel bag.
Okay. Are they all in the same duffel bag? Is there anything else in that duffel bag?
Just underwear.
Okay. When these pictures are looked at, you talked about being in Marie Franz's underwear on the first night you went in. Did you take photographs of that?
Yep.
What about anybody else's underwear?
Yep. Photos.
Of you in their underwear?
Mm-hmm.
And where were those photos taken?
Well, sometimes in Marie France's case, in her house. The others in my house.
In Tweed?
Mm-hmm.
So is this a matter you would take the underwear, go back, and then at some point put the underwear on and take pictures? What about Jessica's underwear?
She's only her, right?
So you don't have pictures of you in her underwear?
No.
All right. Okay. Well, I guess I just have a couple of questions for you. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be more questions, but I guess what's on my mind right now, Russ, is what made you decide to tell me this tonight?
Mostly to make my wife's life easier.
Is what you told me tonight the truth?
Yeah.
How do you feel about what you've done? Like what?
Disappointed.
Okay. Let me ask you this: if this didn't come to the point it's at right now, if for whatever reason you didn't end up on our radar, so to speak, do you think it would have happened again?
I was hoping not, but I can't answer the question.
Okay. Not too much here, Russ. Just a few details that I wanted to cover off. Specifically dealing with Marie France. In the basement of her house, there's a hole in the drywall. Do you recall how that happened?
Whereabouts?
I don't know specifically, but it's downstairs.
I don't remember that. No.
Okay. Do you remember doing anything with her in the basement where you may have used some clothing or something to secure her?
Yeah, I tied her up against one of the poles in the basement initially. I went outside and put the screen back on and secured the window.
Okay. While she was tied to the pole?
Yep.
And what was your thinking behind doing that at that point?
Just to cover up how I'd come in.
Okay. Now, by the time she's tied to that pole, is that in the very initial few minutes kind of thing of the confrontation, or?
That was shortly after I'd subdued her and tied her up, yes.
Okay. Does she have the duct tape on her mouth yet?
I think probably.
Okay.
The pictures will show it.
All right. Now, in the upstairs bathroom, by her bedroom, there's looks like something's occurred in there. Do you remember that?
Yep.
What happened there?
She had passed out on the bed, and I had gone to look out the front window, see if anybody was coming. And she got up and closed the bedroom door and raced into the bathroom trying to get somebody's attention. But her mouth was taped and her hands were tied.
Okay. And what did you do as a result of that?
Well, I just got in and subdued her again and got her back into the bedroom. Didn't do anything, just regained control of her.
Okay. If I remember correctly, there's a bit of blood in there. Do you know where that blood would have, how that would have occurred?
All the blood was from the initial hits as I was trying to subdue her.
Okay.
Her skin breaking with the blows to her head.
Okay. Do you recall blood being in the bathroom?
No, actually, I didn't have the light on in there, but it didn't surprise me.
Okay. There's a pair of underwear and some socks on the floor of that bathroom that belonged to her. Do you remember how they got there? Do you remember seeing them?
See them.
Okay. What do you recall doing to her breasts? It's pretty clear that there was something happened to her breasts. Do you remember what that might have been?
No, I certainly touched her breasts. I didn't do anything to hurt them.
I don't remember that.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, Russ,
Now, when I suffocated her, she was on her front, so may have been something there. But
what do you mean?
well, she was lying on the floor in the bedroom as I suffocated her, and obviously struggled. May have been in there that something happened, but I didn't do anything specific to her breasts.
Okay. So when you suffocate her, that's when you had the duct tape over her mouth and nose, and that's on the floor.
Yeah.
And then what happens after that?
Well, she died, and I then took the duct tape off her head and put her on the bed and covered her up with duvet.
Okay. And what was your thinking behind doing that?
Nothing really.
Okay. As you might expect here, Russ, certainly even now, one of the Ottawa investigators mentioned to me that there's a number of incidents that have gone unsolved over the years.
Can I was going to get into that. Can I go to the washroom quickly?
Yeah, I can get somebody to take you to the washroom. Okay.
I spent this morning here meeting with the personnel of 8 Wing and with members of the local communities. In the face of the statement of facts read in court and widely reported by the media, all of us are reflecting on the events that have taken place and are having trouble finding the right words to express our feelings. The end of this trial and the upcoming sentencing will allow us, military and civilians alike, to have a form of closure and to know, or to now begin, to focus on the healing. We recognize the need to come together and heal as a community. We are doing everything we can to assist those in need of counseling or other support. In fact, we urge anyone who is feeling upset or concerned to seek assistance and to talk about their emotions. From what I've seen today at 8 Wing, while our morale and sense of cohesion have been shaken, we remain steadfast in our commitment to defending Canada and Canadians. I am so proud of the personnel at 8 Wing. Facing this ordeal, they responded superbly by focusing on the operational mission at hand and by redoubling effort and intensity. All the other Air Force wings across the country look to them as an example of determination. While doing so, we will not forget Marie-France Comeau, Jessica Lloyd, and the other victims and their families. They will remain in our thoughts and prayers forever.
Just hearing the stuff he did that doesn't even involve my sister makes me, just as a Canadian, angry.
Police now say he broke into her home 9 days before she was killed. Russell Williams made a brief appearance in court today by video link. He looked a little thinner. It's reported that he tried to commit suicide a month ago. But sources tell CBC he has resigned himself to being a prisoner. And there could be more charges.
And he sniffled in court as he told the judge, quote, "I have committed despicable crimes, Your Honor. In the process, betrayed my family, my friends, and colleagues on the Canadian Forces."
The ability to talk about these things with remorse is very uncommon. Psychopaths it's one of the key ingredients is not to have remorse. Even Jeffrey Dahmer, who was not a full, flat-out psychopath, had some measure of remorse.
The same in Ottawa, where Russell Williams owned another home with his wife. Multiple break-ins, unexplained till now, like at the Cochrans.
That is scary, you know, because I think if I was in the house, you know, I mean, I think he'd obviously been scouting out the house probably a couple days before that.
All right, so let's recap what we've seen so far. This series covered one disturbed man and his outrage on the quiet community. Appreciate you joining us for this series. Again, I am your host, Leon Green, and this has been another episode of Question.